Today we are going to explore Chile. There isn't another country like Chile, long and narrow. Not just that, there are so many interesting facts about this country. It is definitely different from its neighbors. I have been exploring all South American countries with you, and I can't believe this is the last country in my South American series. If you are interested in learning about the countries around the world, please subscribe to my channel and let the learning begin. This is the oldest national flag in the Americas and fifth oldest in the world. Red represents the blood spilled for independence, blue for the sky and the Pacific Ocean, white stand for the snow-covered Andes mountain peaks, while the star symbolizes Chile's independence and status as a republic. This flag is very similar to Texas flag, and both are called Lone Star flags. Don't confuse the two. This is Chilean coat of arms. The shield is a version of a flag with the same meaning. The two supporters are Andean condor and the South Andean deer. Both of them are native to Chile. The crown they wear, a naval crown, represent the rich naval history. The coat of arms is crowned by feathers, the same color as the national flag, and symbolizes the distinctions that the former presidents used to wear in their hats. Underneath the coat of arms, on an elaborate pedestal, displays the national motto, by reason or force.
Geography!
Chile is in the western part of South America, occupying a long, narrow strip of land between the Andes Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. It is the southernmost country in the world and closest to Antarctica. Chile shares land borders with Peru, Bolivia, and Argentina. Because of its long, narrow profile and position between the ocean and the mountains, Chile has a unique topography and climate. It can be divided into 5 geographical zones: far north, near north, central Chile, south, and the far south. The far north region extends from Peruvian border to Copiapo River. It is extremely arid and mainly made up of Atacama Desert and a stretch of Andean plateau. Atacama Desert receives lowest rainfall in the world. It is on average less than 1 millimeter per year. Clear sky and minimal artificial lighting make this area great for stargazing. Paranal Observatory is one of the best astronomical observatory in the world. It's located in Atacama Desert. Near North region covers the area from Copiapo River all the way to San Diego. Receives more rain than the far north, and most of Chile's pisco is produced in here. Ojo del Salado in the region is the highest volcano in the world and the highest peak in Chile. The central region is the most populated region and home to Chile's capital, San Diego. The region is known for its fertile agricultural land, coastal mountains, and vast stretches of beaches. And much of this country's wine are produced in the region as well. The south is full of picturesque lakes formed by hundreds of rivers flowing down from the Andes. The far south is wild, rugged, stunningly beautiful, extending down from the southern tip of Cape Cone, encompasses the Patagonian icefield, glaciers, fjord, pampas grassland, and the towering granite peaks of Torres del Paine National Park. Chile is located along the Pacific Ring of Fire and prone to earthquakes, volcanic eruption, and tsunami. There are more than 30 active volcanoes in Chile. In 2010, Chile experienced 8.8 magnitude earthquake, the fifth largest ever recorded at the time. Chile's territory expands beyond the mainland, includes some islands, notably the world's one of the most isolated island, Easter Island, with a population of about 8,000 people, and Juan Fernandez Island with about 1,000 people, and some of the uninhabited groups of islands. Chile also lay claim to part of the Antarctica, but it is not valid after the Antarctica Treaty.
History!
Chile's fertile valleys and the long Pacific coast have been inhabited for over 10,000 years by various groups of people. The Incas briefly expanded their empire into the northern Chile, but the Mapuche people successfully resisted Incas' advancement. In 1536, the Spanish conquistadors headed by Diego de Almagro arrived in Chile. Chile wasn't rich with gold and silver, but the Central Valley had potential for agriculture. Soon, Chile became part of Spanish Empire, but it wasn't easy. Spanish suffered repeated setbacks and had to fight the locals every step of the way. In 1810, Chileans started their fight for independence from Spain. The war that followed is called Reconquista. In 1817, armies led by Chilean patriot Bernardo O'Higgins defeated the Spanish. Chile declared independence on February 12, 1818. Bernardo O'Higgins became the first leader of the independent Chile. Chile slowly but surely started to expand its influence and established borders. The archipelago of Chile was incorporated in 1826. Economy began to boom due to discovery of silver. The War of the Pacific with Chile, Peru, and Bolivia ended in favor of Chile expanding its territory northward by almost a third, eliminating Bolivia's access to Pacific Ocean. Acquired vulnerable nitrate deposit. Mining this deposit led to the era of national affluence. Chile became one of the high-income countries by 1870s. In the 20th century up to 1970s, Chile thrived and grown in population, developed democratic political policies, urbanization, and increased economic resilience from copper mining. During the 1970s, Chile went through a severe left-right political polarization and turmoil. In 1973, a coup overthrew Salvador Allende, a democratically elected left-wing government, and installed a 16-year right-wing military dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet. This is one of the dark times in Chilean history, as Operation Condor, which killed, tortured, or imprisoned over 40,000 people, including children, for political reasons. Finally, the regime ended in 1990 after a referendum in 1988 was succeeded by a coalition which ruled until 2010. Chile found its groove and keep progressing well as a developing country with a high-income economy.
People and culture!
Chile's population is about 19.5 million. Third of the population live in and around the capital city of San Diego. Majority of them live in the urban area. Most Chileans are white or mestizos. Amerindian account for about 8% of the population. As you would expect, most Chileans are Christians, mostly Catholics. However, it is a significant reduction from the decade ago. Now, third of the population is non-religious. Spanish is the official language and spoken by almost all Chileans. The dialect is different from its neighbors because Chileans drop the final vowel and softly pronounce some of the vowels. There are several indigenous languages as well as German, Italian, English, Greek, and Quechua are spoken in Chile. Chilean wine has earned its reputation as some of the world's best. vineyards have been refining their traditional craft for centuries. Chileans love festivals. Fiesta Patrias celebrate Independence Day, an unambiguous religious event, an unofficial beginning of the spring on September 18th. Remember, Chile is on south, so the spring starts in September. But the pre-holiday celebration starts 2 weeks before the actual day with lots of music, food, decoration of red, white and blue. All commercial buildings and residents by law has to hang a Chilean's flag for this festival. Some of the other popular festivals are La Terrana, a mix of Catholic and indigenous religious festival which pay tribute to Virgin Mary through carnival and dancing. The other popular one is Grape Harvest Festival, a religious ceremony that blesses the first pulp batch from the grapes. Chile is not known for its cuisine. Most dishes are not fancy or complex. However, the raw ingredients are unbelievably good and fresh and include great variety of fruits, vegetables and abundance of fish and seafood. Chileans can buy fresh seafood every morning. Chilean cuisine also changes from region to region. One of the most iconic dishes, pastel de chocolate. It's a Chilean corn pie made with corn puree mixed with basil, coriander, ground beef, onion, pieces of chicken, boiled egg and black olives. That sounds delicious, isn't it?
Economy.
Chile's economy is considered a model in Latin America in terms of political and financial transparency. It has also been one of the fastest growing economies in Latin America over the last couple of decades, enabling the country to reduce poverty. In 2022, the GDP is about 310 billion. Chile has a high GDP per capita as well at 14,772 United States dollar. Chile is among the most industrialized countries in Latin America. Some of its key industries include mining copper, coal and nitrate, manufacturing including food product, chemicals and wood, agriculture activities such as fishing, wine production and fruits. Despite recent effort by the government to diversify its economy, Chile's economy remains vulnerable to international copper price, international demand, especially from China, climate and earthquake risk, inadequate R&D, vulnerable road network and energy grid, high energy prices and poor educational system. Chile has invested heavily on renewable energy and expected to generate 20% of its renewable energy by 2025. Although Chile is a high-income economy, inequality still exists and about 10% of the population live below the poverty line. Have you enjoyed learning about Chile? It is a fascinating country, isn't it? Particularly the geography. It has pretty much all the geographical features that you would see in a continent in just one country because it is so narrow and so long. So as the climate changes and the terrain changes, you experience so many beautiful things. Thank you for staying with me so far. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe now. Thank you. Thank you for watching.